Hello, welcome to The Path. Over the years, I have spoke a fair amount about the topic of affirmations, whether that be in my blog posts or in my workshops or now here on my video channel. And I believe that I continue to come back to this topic so often is because I'm acutely aware of just how valuable a tool affirmations can be in your personal development toolbox. So I thought it would be helpful if I talked a little bit about affirmations here today. But what I'd like to do is put a slightly different spin on it for you and approach it from a fresh angle. Now typically when we're talking about affirmations, we're talking about that self-talk and those statements that we make to ourselves that are positively aligned with a personal development goal or objective. They are conscious and they are deliberate, and they have a strict modality both in their creation and in their execution. Now that modality has come out of decades of research, mostly through sports psychology. And those modalities have given us a number of elements that we want to keep in mind when we're thinking about affirmations. Now, in my workshops, I teach 7 elements to a powerful affirmation. But for the sake of this video and for the point that I want to make in a couple minutes, I'm going to give you 3 of the most powerful. Now the first being that an affirmation has to be personal. So you want to make sure that an affirmation has a sense of self, that it's coming from you, and it's not about anyone else or anything else. Now a good way to phrase that is to use the phrase I am. And if you found this video, you probably are well aware of the power of the phrase I am. Next, you want to make sure that your affirmation is present, and that you're stating it in the present tense. And what I mean by that is that you don't want to talk about the someday tense, or someday I will achieve this, or someday I will have this, or someday I will become this. You want to speak as if the affirmation, the thing that you're affirming, has already occurred and is occurring. And you want to do this because you're trying to impress the subconscious. And the subconscious can only accept information that's coming through the present moment. It can't accept it from the past or the future. So it's really important to present that affirmation in the present tense, because it doesn't quite know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. It just sees things coming through in the present tense and accepts them as true. Now lastly, what you want to make sure that you instill into a good affirmation is that it is plausible. And by plausible, I mean that it is believable for you. So for whatever you're affirming, you want to make sure that the thing that you're affirming makes sense to you, that it's believable for you. But it's not so believable and so easy and well inside your comfort zone that there's no potential for growth. So that's a traditional affirmation. And that's what we're doing when we're building an affirmation into our daily routine, and we're reciting it, and we're working as part of our personal development plans. But what I want to talk about here today is something a little more subtle. And they are the affirmations that occur on a subconscious level, and they occur quietly. And we don't even know that they're happening because they're so ingrained in our routines and our activities on a daily basis. And they're the little voices that come up in the back of our minds when we're approaching achieving a personal development goal perhaps, or even approaching a new opportunity. And when we approach that activity and we say to ourselves, yes, I can do this, the voice in the back of your mind may say, no, you can't, or this isn't possible, or nobody else can do this. And that becomes the true affirmation, because these little voices that are in the back of our mind, what we call subconscious paradigms or limiting beliefs or tail enders, these tail enders are the voices that are truly informing us and dictating and driving our results. And it's not so much the affirmations that we do on a conscious level, the ones that we're trying to recite and align with our personal development goals. They're all well and good, but if you have a subconscious paradigm, they are your true belief system, because they are the ones that are born out of your reality and the things that you've experienced and the things that's been reinforced by others and the events of your life. So you have really no reason to question them. And they're so subtle that you don't even know that they're occurring, and you immediately accept them as true. And you move on, and for some reason you don't achieve your goals. Well, the reason you don't achieve your goals is because you have an affirmation and a belief system that it's not possible. So it's vitally important that you understand that you identify what's going on, that you have a subconscious paradigm or one of these tail enders happening, and understand that it has to be addressed. So your very first step is to stop what you're doing and be conscious and aware and mindful that you may be having some negative self-talk. And once you've identified negative self-talk and you feel that resistance and that fear, you know that that's a signal for you to stop what you're doing and affirm in the positive, something that's more aligned with the goal that you would like to achieve and the person that you would like to become. And then ask yourself, is this subconscious paradigm, is this negative self-talk that's coming up, is it true? And most likely it's not. And then once you affirm something that's more in line with the goal that you want to make sure that you apply positive action to reinforce the affirmation that you just made to contradict the subconscious paradigm. And then once you have that positive action in place, you want to make sure that you reinforce that action once again, over and over again, and really override the subconscious paradigm, because the subconscious paradigm is really ingrained in your belief system. And once you've identified it, that's the big step. But the next step is to do the work to override it and create a new belief system. Because actions create beliefs, and beliefs inspire new realities, and realities inspire positive actions, and it goes around and around. And talking about actions, another piece that you want to keep in mind that may be a secret hidden affirmation for you are those actions and routines that we do each and every day, that we're not even aware we're doing, that we just do it on an automatic level. Wayne Dyer once said, "You become not what you want, but you become who you are." So it's our actions and our routines that dictate our reality and really reinforce who we are and who we will become. So you have to be cognizant of your routine and ask yourself the question, if I've already achieved my goal, if I had already achieved it, would I be doing this thing that I'm doing right now? Would I be watching all this television or gaming or doing other things that aren't in line with my personal development goals and objectives? And if you have to be honest with yourself and say, yes, it's not in line, I wouldn't be doing that if I've already achieved my goal, then you know that your actions are displaced and out of alignment with what you want to achieve. And if they're out of alignment, then you're sending an incorrect signal to your subconscious. And it's telling you that this is your reality. Watching TV, gaming, wasting time, not doing the things that you need to do, as opposed to doing the things that you need to do as a successful person who's already achieved your goal. So a subconscious paradigm, routines, tail enders, limiting beliefs, these things are all part of what we would consider a hidden affirmation. And these are truly the affirmations and the things that are driving your results more than your conscious creations and your affirmations that you make on a daily basis. So keep in mind that it's important to first identify these things and then work to eliminate them and expand your comfort zones past those limiting beliefs. And once you've done those, you can start to affirm on a more effective level and achieve the goals that you're going for. I hope this has been helpful. I put up videos every once in a while, so by all means, if you like the video, hit like and subscribe so you can get more content. And until next time, stay on the path.